What's up, everybody? Welcome to Speak for Yourself. A safe space for millennial sports fans like myself. Here, we give our most fierce responses to Jason Marcellus' takes. I'm your favorite social media manager, Darnell Smith. We got the whole crew with us back today. Back from East Coast, back from the holidays. HBCU legend, Miss Shay Live. What's going on, Shay?
I'm good. I'm back. I didn't get the burgundy memo, but that's okay. I'm in the holiday spirit, you know. I'm glad to be back.
Everybody been asking about you, Shay, so we glad you are back here today. And we can't forget about the two-time Baylor All-American, who I actually hooped with last night. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Miss Nina Davis. What's going on, Nina?
We're not going to get into this hooping because y'all already know who won, but what's up? I'm here.
Don't be capping on SFY Next. You know we keep it real.
Okay, we're going to stay on topic.
Is there any video footage?
We're going to find some.
Okay.
We're going to find some video for
right?
y'all. The film don't lie. But yeah, man, we got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to get straight to it, talk about the Dallas Cowboys, who had a tough loss last night against the Chicago Bears, losing 31-24. And yesterday, our guys talked about Jerry Jones' desperation for them to win, and if he was the cause for the Cowboys' struggles. Marcellus says so. Check this out.
I am a fan of Jerry Jones, the man and the businessman for sure. But he's the main ingredient for their formula of failure. Like, he's the reason. He's undercutting everything because he doesn't let that locker room fully activate because he doesn't fully empower the head coach.
You got an owner that is willing to do whatever to help this team win. That's what you want as a player. And as a coach, if you can't perform under this pressure, you're not fit for the job.
I just want to hear it once a week, maybe once a year. I don't want to hear it every day.
Another very hot take from the big dog, that dude, Marcellus Wiley. Shay, since you're back, we're going to throw it to you first. Do you agree with Marcellus that Jerry Jones is basically the main cause for the Cowboys' struggles?
I am going to have to agree with Marcellus on this one. I think it's very important for the person calling the plays to actually have the final say, for everybody to buy in and work cohesively. You know, when somebody, have you ever had like a boss or, in you guys' case, a coach where like somebody was above them saying something different? It's hard to listen to somebody who's below the person saying something else. Right. And then it's like, now I'm losing a little bit of respect. There's no reason for me to listen to you. Now it's like everybody's confused. So if everybody's confused and we're not on the same page, I don't see how there's success in any of that. Like, regardless of the fact that, you know, he's the head coach and you should just be listening to what he has to say. That's a difficult situation. And I think Jerry hasn't bought into Jason Garrett as far as like letting him actually make decisions, so why would anybody else?
That's a good point. What you think, Nene?
I kind of agree with that. Like, obviously, the leadership starts at the top. So Jerry Jones is the owner, clearly. And so you would hope that your owner and your head coach are on the same page. I feel if he's not 100% in on the head coach, then maybe you should make changes. Like, you have to trust in your head coach. But also, I'm going to put some blame on Jason Garrett as well. Yes, him and the owner might not be on the same page, but you knew who Jerry Jones was, and you know what he expects. Yes, he's desperate. Who wouldn't be desperate to win games? Like, I'm not trying to go out here and lose games, right. So of course I'm going to be throwing out different scenarios that we might not agree with. But he's letting his team spiral out of control. Like, his team no longer is trusting him. They're arguing on the sidelines. They're fighting, and you have to gain control of that. My thing is, if you come up with a game plan where you're winning, guess what? Jerry Jones won't have nothing to say. He'll be sitting back in the press box. He won't be doing interviews because you're winning. They will put them on the same page.
Jerry Jones still going to be doing interviews.
But it wouldn't be bad. He would be. That's true. But at least they'll be positive because you're winning.
Got you. No, I actually agree with that kind of on the back end. I guess I'm going to be the bad guy because I don't agree with Marcellus' take. I actually agree more with TJ Houshmandzadeh's take, which was, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones is just applying pressure to Jason Garrett and the rest of those guys. Football is a tough sport. We know it's physically tough, but it's more mentally tough than anything. At the end of the day, if you can't handle that pressure, you playing the wrong sport. So I put the blame mostly on Jason Garrett and those players. At the end of the day, yes, we know Jerry Jones is. He's a big personality. He's been like this his entire career. Even back in the 90s when Cowboys were winning championships, he was doing the same thing. And it didn't affect the Cowboys' success at the time. So I can't blame Jerry Jones for that. You're America's team. And why is that? Because of what Jerry Jones does. You can't be mad that he's in the media when you're losing, but then happy that he's in the media when your brand's growing and you're getting the money.
You have to take the good and the bad is what you're saying.
Exactly, facts.
Yeah. But I think it's a question of, you're saying like back then it didn't bother, but like you have to adjust to what your team responds to. Like if you're the leader, you can't treat everybody the same way because they don't respond to it. for years, the Cowboys have not been winning. So obviously whatever Jerry's doing, and Jason Garrett, since he's been there for years at this point, is not working. So they need to figure something else out, and maybe Jerry needs to take a step back and look in the mirror to see, like, maybe I need to be doing something different because this pressure I'm putting on isn't exactly working.
But also, as the owner, can you afford to step back? It's your job to,
I'm just saying adjust.
Yeah,
like,
just
he doesn't have to
adjust.
stop talking, but maybe what you've been
Change up
doing
what
isn't
you're saying.
working.
Nah, that's a good point. I definitely get what you're saying, Shay. And I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, I kind of lean on what you said earlier. As the head coach, you're the person who's in the locker room with them every single day. You're the one coming up, you and your staff coming up with the game plans, what we're going to do on the field. Yes, Jerry Jones is, media talk. He's adding pressure. It can be somewhat of a distraction.
But he's not in the locker room. He's not at
and
practice.
he's not on that field. He's not out there. He's not the reason Dak Prescott only threw one touchdown last night in garbage time. He ain't the reason Zeke only had, 81 rushing yards yesterday, and the defense couldn't stop Mitchell Trubisky.
But it is his decision to keep Jason Garrett on the roster. So maybe you need to adjust to the coaches if that's not working out.
Jerry
at the end of the day needs to make different decisions, okay?
There you go. I'm with you on that, Shay. You need to make
something needs to change because y'all not looking too hot.
Right. And now another point I want to kind of get into, though, obviously, even with the loss, they're still leading the NFC East, one game ahead of the Eagles. They got a big game in about 2 weeks. Who you guys think will end up winning the NFC East, the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Well, the NFC East altogether is pretty trash, as we've all
Very.
witnessed this season. I mean, even both teams have losing records right now, and they're first and second. But I think it's just a matter of who doesn't play as bad as the other. Because, I mean, they have the Redskins and the Giants as the other games that they're finishing on, which they both suck. So, but, again, the Eagles just lost to the Dolphins. So who knows what's going to happen? It's anybody.
Pick a side, Shay. Pick a side. Who you trust? If you got to put your money on it.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, just because the Eagles embarrassed themselves against the Dolphins last week. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys as the less trash team.
You don't sound that confident. You were just in Philly a few days ago.
I know, and I witnessed the embarrassment. I was there with all the Philly fans pissed off.
Nah, I got you. I'm gonna actually go with the Eagles, and the reason is I trust Carson Wentz a little bit more than Dak Prescott. Obviously, this year hasn't been amazing, but at the end of the day, I look at the past and the almost MVP year before he got hurt, and I feel like he still has that in him. So if I had to put my money on it, I would hesitate, but I have to put it on the Eagles.
I want to go with the Cowboys. Like, I'm going to say that the Cowboys are bad, but the Eagles are worse.
Bad.
Look, I was going to say better, but I'm going with worse. My English teacher taught me better.
Right.
So, yeah, like, they're both, like, as we have came to the conclusion, they both suck. But I just think that the Cowboys, they're spiraling out of control right now. But I do think in 2 weeks, they'll regroup a little bit, just enough to pull out their win.
Yeah. The only reason why you might be right is because the Eagles played the Giants twice. So they have that.
Nah, that's fact. And the Eagles are at home against the Cowboys too. So remember that.
That's an advantage.
But all right, y'all, man. That's all we got today. Be sure to tune in and speak for yourself on FS1 Monday through Friday to support our guys, Whitlock and Marcellus. Because they're the reason we got next. Be sure to tune in and subscribe to our YouTube page to catch all new episodes. Hey, I hooped on Nina yesterday. She ain't gonna tell you.
Do not believe it.
I missed happy birthday, so happy birthday.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.